Ohio. That's what they say in Tokyo, Japan, for good morning. Ohio. And I say that to you. Good morning. Buenos dias. Bom dia. All these different languages that I love to study and learn to say hello. Or good morning. We're reading in Mark, the 11th chapter, and Jesus is teaching about the power of faith, but a kind of faith that must come from heaven. It's a grace. It's a blessing. It's not just faith to get the blessing. It's the blessing of faith to get the thing we're petitioning God for. And he said that no doubt in your heart and believes what he says will happen, it will be done for him. Therefore, I tell you, everything you pray and ask for, believe that you have received it or will receive it, the margin has, and it will be yours. Now, here's another teaching to, see, the teaching on prayer in the Bible is not just one sentence. Call upon me and I will answer you. That's from the Old Testament. Jesus said, ask and you shall receive. And then there's fuller teaching added in other places about getting us to the place where we can pray effectively. You know, we don't want to just say prayers, do we? You know, in football, it's called Hail Marys. Let me give it a shot. Maybe it'll work, like playing the numbers. No. We want to be able, I want to be able to. I do. God's listening to me. I want to be able to pray and secure answers for both myself, our church, people I pray for. So now the Lord gives a teaching and he says this right on top of that. And whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, so that your Father in heaven will also forgive you your wrongdoing. Whoa, that's heavy. What do you think? Muy serio. He's saying, and when you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, how wide is that? That's very wide. If you have anything against any other person, forgive him or her. Now, it's connected to prayer, but it's like you got to clear the channel here so that your Father in heaven will also forgive you your wrongdoing. Some manuscripts add, but if you don't forgive, neither will your Father in heaven forgive your wrongdoing, which makes it an even more solemn verse. So what's this got to do with anything? So when we stand praying, if we want to be heard, we can't have aught against other people. Bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness. You can't. That will block the channel of this sacred, powerful thing called the prayer of faith. It doesn't say who's wrong, who's right. It says if you have anything against someone, forgive them. You know, we had a speaker this last Sunday. He said a good thing. Resentment and bitterness is a horrible thing because it's like drinking poison and thinking it's going to kill the person that you have bitterness against. Listen again. When you have bitterness, unforgiveness, you're hurting yourself. You're drinking the poison and so, ooh, take that. And you just took the poison. Does that help someone today? Bitterness, unforgiveness, it is a deadly thing. You think COVID was bad, COVID-19, you think that was bad? That's a toy compared to unforgiveness, bitterness. I've dealt with people who have it 40 years after the fact. Something happened 40 years ago. It's still sticking in their craw, blocking their spirit, bringing bitterness, and now blocking their effectiveness of prayer, in prayer, and be able to have supernatural faith. But isn't this interesting that it says here that if you forgive others, then your Father in heaven will forgive your wrongdoing. Is this not amazing? We've been forgiven. Speak for myself. I have been forgiven 10,000 million, zillion, trillion, billion things from God. And he's shown mercy and forgiven me. And yet, all of us are like that. We're going to hold something on someone. No, you did me wrong. What if God took that attitude? No, for real. Think about this. Come on. It's in the Bible. I'm not trying to be melodramatic. God, what if God said to us, no, I'm not going to forgive you? Or how about this? I'll forgive you, but I'm not going to forget. You know what I mean? I have a little black book, and I keep things like what you did to me. Where would we be? No, God is full of mercy, and he wants us to be like him. So when you pray, forgive. Forgive whoever you have aught against. I know, but you don't know what they did to me. I don't. But I'm just telling you that unforgiveness in you or me will mess up everything. And now there's that connection that as we forgive, we're forgiven. We release God's mercy in our life. But how can God forgive us if we're holding all kinds of things on people? You know that parable. I won't go into it. It's not in our study today, but what a powerful thing. If we will listen to God on this, think of how wait a minute, maybe your prayers are being blocked today by an unforgiving spirit. If you approach a merciful God and you're unmerciful and I'm unmerciful, how's that going to work out? I don't think too well. You know, in fact, the whole family, I don't like any of them. Oh God, do I need you right now? We're prone to that, are we not? So, yes, let's have faith, but for God's promises to produce faith in our life, of a supernatural kind of faith that doesn't doubt, you can't have bitterness, unforgiveness against other people. If anyone has done anything, listen, that's hard for me to hear, but it's in the book. I have to read the book to you. I can't make up stuff. We justify our unforgiveness and bitterness. If you only knew. No. Easy for you to say, Pastor Cymbala. But I'm telling you what Jesus said to all of us. When you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive. Come on, that's in your power. I can't forgive. Then ask God for the grace to forgive. Tell God, I want to forgive. I read your word. I want to be obedient, but I can't do it in myself. So God, give me that spirit of mercy and forgiveness that you have. And oh, am I happy that you have it, because that's why I'm a Christian today. Blessings. See you next time.